the VWAP or sorry, will it hit a price of 233.30 or lower between now and the close? Outlook. Come on.
You got bubbles.
Outlook. Yeah, it's like not giving. Let me try and get Magic 8 Ball. I'm asking you. If Bubba will hit a price of 233.30 or lower between now and the close in 30 minutes. Very doubtful. There you go. Now I got something in the window. Sometimes the Magic 8 Ball won't
There you
resolve.
go.
Very
So welcome
doubtful.
to everybody out on YouTube. You just experienced the Magic 8 Ball giving a prediction.
Here you go. You heard it here live.
On Baba. George, I know. George 84. The fib levels are intriguing. There's somebody in the community out there who shall remain nameless that we have been trying to pressure into giving us a Fibonacci level class.
Maybe that's something we should look at introducing, Chris. That's a good idea. We're going to, at PCT, I'm going to have a trader that is the Magic 8 Ball, and you basically have to perform better than the Magic 8 Ball, or you will not be considered for a spot in the firm. Sort of like that's going to be that's like the monkey test, right? You got to do better than the monkey throwing random darts at a dartboard, or you don't qualify. Which I always love that test, because that's what they always used, because they use that to measure fund manager performance, right? And like 80% of fund managers fail the test. So
That
what
was
does that tell you?
Yeah. That was an interesting the bat. Were you there last night for the how much a bat and a baseball costs analogy
No,
that the doctor used?
I didn't happen to attend it. I've been looking for it to be posted so I can watch it. But what was the analogy?
Yeah, so if a baseball and a baseball bat costs $1.10 and the baseball bat costs $1 more, how much does each cost? Or how much does a baseball cost? Oh, Chris, you can't. And don't look at Chris's answers. I wouldn't trust him. Don't trust him.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I remember those types of tests. It's like once you answer somewhere, they're easy to figure out. So
they're easy to figure out once. But he had a lot of good.
I got an answer, anyways. Yeah.
He had a lot of good analogies, or not analogies, but he really covered different biases. Like yesterday, we were talking about confirmation bias. He covered that, along with a couple other different biases that were in there, and showed actual trades that he took, as well as other traders that he works with. So
cool.
It was very well presented.
Excellent. I'm going to go. Is it posted yet? Let me go see if it's up there.
Not sure. I didn't do the recording for that one, so.
Why am I not logged in?
And then
I've been reminding people all afternoon that our webinar today starts an hour after the market close.
Yes, with Kreda. Looking forward to it. Yep. She always has a very unique aspect and take on trading that
Kreda's the bomb.
It just works. you know. So.
Oh, I have to admit, okay, how do I find it?
What are you looking for, Peter?
Last night's webinar. I just have to figure out how to find it.
Go into the webinars tab. I can't wait till we get the education center updated. It's going to be so much easier to find stuff.
Well, the last one is, but it wouldn't be in there, isn't that? Wouldn't
Yeah,
it
it'd
be
be
in
in
the
there.
psychology?
No, it'd just be in webinars. Or it would be in guest webinars down in the psychology section, down at the bottom.
Well, I guess it's not there yet because I don't see it there.
Chris, all I said is that there was an interesting webinar on Fibonacci lines that I'm looking forward to. I didn't know who was doing it. All fun and games, all fun and games. But if you can't find it in the webinar, it's probably not posted yet. So it'll be up there here shortly. But Kreta's tonight, she's also going to be going over affirmations as well as setting goals, as she's gotten a few questions from the traders out there. So it'll be a good review up front on that. So, and we're looking possibly the webinar after that. She wants to hit up to help everybody in the community on their affirmations as well as setting goals. So if you have questions about those that you would like her to specifically answer, reach out to me or to her, and if you'd be willing, I think we're going to do her next webinar similar to Dr. Katz, have a few traders come on so that you can ask specific questions about your affirmations or setting goals, and then she can work directly there with you in the webinar, and then everybody else, as always, can ask questions as well. So looking forward to that. I know when we did it, Peter, it very beneficial.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I was mentioning that earlier, that we had that opportunity, and it really was very valuable.
Yeah. It's the way she words it. I think you brought that up, right? The way that she words those affirmations.
It's certainly in a way that I wouldn't sort of by default think of wording something. So,
Yeah.
which is helpful, because you want them to be on point and positive. Instead of saying "you shall not do this," you think it'd be easy just to reverse it and say "you will do whatever." But there's something different about the way she does it to word it, to turn it into a more of a positive statement rather than a directive or a commandment.
Yeah.
So it's an affirmation.
Hammer time.
Ooh, there it is.
Brian.
Da-na-na-na. Da-na. Da-na.
I got to get me some of them pants.
I do too, since I put on so much weight since retirement. I need those extra poofy pants.
So what's going on? We're
Yeah,
selling
Megan.
off into the...
Yeah, I'm hoping we're going to sell off more. Brian, I just got out of. Remember that AMD trade I told you I was in like a minute before you? I just got out of a couple of minutes ago.
Oh boy, you rode that sucker all day.
Yeah, but I was hoping that it would give me a lot more. I mean, I didn't get any more out of it than I would have had I sold it within the hour. So.
Well, you just don't know.
I know. Like I said, I'm hoping that AMD would pull back to sort of do a red to green move today, but not even close.
Hmm. Yeah.
So, Robin, I put all my weight on. People call it a beer belly, I think it is. Because you drink beer and it just gets fat in your belly.
Well,
I
you were
think
going to say you put it all in your blood. That's why we can't see it. So
No, it's clearly in my belly. It's just like my grandfather's. It's like, oh, there it is. So now I'm working on it. Now I have to at least get that.
yeah.
Yeah, dad bod. There you go, Megan. I like that one.
Yikes. Nails. Yeah. Savai. Let's take a look.
Man.
Wow, big move today on SAVA. Wow. 25 million shares outstanding, 23% short. Interesting. Doesn't appear to be any news on Sava, so I'm just I'm wondering why the big move. There's not a lot of volume on Sava either. At least it's not showing up. Makes me suspicious.
Saba. Yeah, nice.
Not a huge I mean, it's abnormal volume, but not.
Wow, that's a lot of volume compared to it normally trades under 1 million shares a day.
Yeah. Well, I'm kind of looking at previous moves back
On the
in
daily.
like September, and there was one big move in November.
Yeah.
Had 3 million, over 4 million, and they didn't move as much. So I'm just maybe this is just an epic short squeeze because it doesn't seem to be any news on it.
In September it had a big gap up, and it traded 175 million shares on that day.
Yeah.
Well, that's insanity.
Yeah.
Wow.
Considering it normally trades less than 1 million or thereabouts.
Yeah. And it didn't move as much as it has today, so that makes
yeah, that's true.
me suspicious.
Yeah, but I mean, Brian, I guess it did in total if you include the gap, right? Because here it didn't gap.
Yeah.
All the
That's true.
All the move was just during the trading day, I guess.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah, that might be.
CCIV is gapping up again here. It's
interesting. It's also perception, Brian. Now that I'm looking at this, we also have to be careful. Like that move on Sava back in September, I mean, essentially went from $3 to $8. So that's almost, let's call it 250% increase. Whereas here, it's moving the same amount, but that's only a 50% increase, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah.
It's a problem when you deal with stocks with really low prices that the numbers get skewed. The law of small numbers sort of thing, right? Like it gets skewed quickly because a move from $2 to $10 is a lot different than a move from $22 to $30.
Yeah.
Ta-ta.
Ta-ta. Ta-ta. Are you looking up ta-ta, Brian? I mean, Mike?
No, I'm just enjoying the day. I had a.
Okay.
I was all over the place trading today, but managed to come out
Yeah.
pretty green. I traded
Well, that's
Piton, Airbnb, Facebook.
You and John have been looking at Airbnb recently a bit. Did it move well today, or let's take a peek
Yeah,
at Airbnb here?
it moved nicely. It got me. I got scared. I'll admit, it's for the big girls and boys in the room. Um, when I was looking at it and when I got into it today, the spread was right around 10 to 15 cents, which I'm pretty comfortable with it being around that.
Right.
But as soon as I got filled, it all of a sudden started jumping to 60 to 90 cent spread. And it was up, down. I mean, it was like, oh man, I'm going to take $1 slippage when I get stopped out here. You get those emotions going. It's not a stock you normally trade. So I got out before the move happened. I got out on this red candle right here. I was just like, oh, okay, I'm out at basically break even. I got out, and then it moved. And I think John did the same thing. I think John mentioned same thing. He got out at break even, and then the move happened on it.
Right.
But it just got too jumpy for me. I'm not used to those dollar swings.
Space is kind of interesting on the daily. Looks like it's putting in a bit of a inverted head and shoulders pattern there. It's got a big gap to fill up to, say, 30, 29, 30. Might be an interesting trade.
I see.
No, Ninja, I didn't touch either one of those two stocks.
I'm debating. The only semi-interesting stock that for a swing trade overnight today is space. Found right now.
There we go. Come on, Bubba. Back down.
Yeehaw. Getting that move on Baba to the downside. Nice.
Yeah, well, it's got to go lower than it had been previously, or I should have just gotten out earlier, but I'm holding on, hoping for more. Well, the Magic 8 Ball told me it wasn't going to VWAP, so...
And the SPY did bounce off of VWAP about 15 minutes ago. So, but you never know about Baba. Here we go.
Katie, I hope so too. But I did have to. It didn't give me an answer at first, so I'm wondering maybe it only reluctantly provided this answer.
So I'll bring up the trade of the day today. Maybe. Yes. It goes to Eric for BYND, which me and John were mentioning how BYND is a sleeper stock. It will lull you to sleep just so you don't watch it, and then when you do that, bam, it does something like this. So he took a reversal trade on BYND, got in as it crossed over to VWAP. Beautiful entry down near 122.80 to 25% partial at R4. Then in true self-sabotage fashion, hit the hotkey when he shouldn't have, got out a little bit by accident, but then got up a good partial up near the high of day at 125, partialed again, and then got out on that spike down. But BYND absolutely made a nice run today. Still trading up near 125 today. So nice trade by Eric.
Indeed. It was, I don't know. I wonder how Eric found that. If he was just watching it all day or showed up on a scanner, but
it must be like John. It's just right there.
Must ipso facto half not be, but half the be has got to be a vis-a-vis its entity. You see, but can it be?
All right, when you said Eric, that made me think of Eric the Half a Bee.
Eric the Half a Bee.
There we go.
That's Brian coming in with a video clip. That's excellent.
Excellent choice.
Completely right.
So if you'd like to submit for the member trade of the day, you can tag @TurboTraders at @MikeB_BBT and @NormBBT. Use hashtag BBT Family Day Trading Stock Market. This way we know that you're submitting your live trade for like the member trade of the day. We'll announce the winner for the trade of the week on Monday's closing show and also on Twitter. Last night we had an excellent success webinar by Dr. Gary Dayton, who is a trader and a clinical psychologist. Talked about numerous different biases and how your bias can affect your trading, which was really good presentation. Looking forward, if you didn't see it, look forward in the webinar room over the next day or so. Tonight, in about an hour and 8 minutes, Creda will be presenting in the webinar room on imaging and how that can help you in your trading success. She will also be doing a quick review on setting goals as well as affirmations. And then next week, we will have Nada coming in to talk to us about mindfulness and how when you make a mistake, like Eric did, or like I'm sure many of us did today, you don't need to let it affect your mood or how you are. It's just something that happens and you can just move on from there. For everybody out on YouTube, if you want to give us a try, you can use the code PREMARKET24 to get access to our onboarding class, as well as access to our chat room where you can listen to numerous songs or video clips throughout the day that are presented by different moderators. You can see Brian and Andrew trade the first hour and a half of the market, followed up by Norm and John. Jared will come in and do a good market overview on Tuesday and Thursdays, talk about options as well as his trading. Eamon does trade reviews Tuesday and Thursdays, and then you have us on the Closing Bell Show. And you never know what you will get with us, whether it's an avatar screen set in the back, Eric something on the video, or the Magic 8 Ball.
1, 2, 3. Eric the half
You're still going with it, Brian.
There we are.
It's just a catchy tune. Once you get it in your head, you can't get it out.
Yep. Once you get it.
Sort of like that bingo song. You're trying to get in Megan's head there. All right. Well, still looking at space. We got 5 minutes left, right?
Yes. Just about. In 10 seconds, it will be 5 minutes to the close.
if I do take anything, it's not going to be a very big size. We kind of seem to be getting a little more choppy even on the indexes.
Yeah, I may not be taking a closing trade here on my favorites. We'll see.
Dow putting in an indecision candle today on the daily. The IWM is actually off on the day. Qs are bouncing off a moving average. So we've had 2 down days and now we've got an up day. And the SPY is trying to hold on to this 3,800 level. Looks like we're going to finish slightly up on the day. US dollar, kind of an inside day here, gapped up, but trading in a pretty narrow range compared to yesterday.
Yes. Yes.
And the VIX is dropping, so it's kind of mixed signals in the market here.
Yes.
Katie, it looked like it for a second, but it pulled back. I got a partial on that wick, but it pulled back really fast by about 60 cents. So we'll see. We've got 3.5 minutes.
Trying to hold that moving average there.
Yeah.
Is that the 200? I think that's the 200.
It is, yeah.
Yeah. That's a tough one.
Or the 100 on the 2. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, sort of bouncing right on. I thought when it punched through by such a sort of large amount, almost 40, 50 cents, I thought it might continue, but it pulled back, like just whipped right back. Bubba's funny that way. I've always found it weird to trade because it does that. Like when I entered, it was moving 5-10 cents at a time. Now it's jumping like 50 cents. Like it'll just go. It has that personality where it'll move. Excuse me, pennies. Joking to death. Sorry. It'll move pennies at a time, but then it starts to move dollars. Right? Like it's just. I find that hard to manage many times.
Yeah, that's difficult when a stock's moving dollars in seconds. It's kind of scary.
Yes. Or when your spread goes from 10 cents to $1. That's always fun.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like if it's consistent, if it's consistent, I don't mind managing that. Like if I'm trading Tesla and I know the spread is always like 50 to 70 cents, then I can manage that, right? Because it's always that way. You just know that's part of your calculation, or at least mine, and my risk calculation. What I can't handle is when it goes from 5 cents to 50 cents. Like that just throws me off too much.
I also think when it does that, it also, I think, psychologically gets you, especially if you look at the last price line. Because when it's doing that, it's just jumping. It's not like a smooth tick up or a smooth tick down. It's up, down, with each transaction that's going through. And you're like, what do I do?
Wish, you're asking about Wish. I mean, we're right at a prior level of resistance, which was back on December 18th, which was $25, $24.50 level. If it was really strong into the close, I'd be more inclined to take it. It's been really pulling back here. Not to say that it won't gap up tomorrow, but it's not, for me, it's not an A+ setup. There isn't a whole lot of history on it, obviously. It's only been trading since middle of December. I don't know. To me, that looks like a bit of a crapshoot. If you'd have been in around 21.50 or 22 when it just broke out.
20 seconds, Peter.
Holding on to some.
Thank you.
Hold on to some of it.
Didn't realize we were that close.
Yeah, I'm not inclined to take anything overnight here.
Oh, there's my bell. Hey, my bell rang today. That's good.
Ooh.
All right.
Not very good momentum or price action going into the close today.
No. Oh, don't do that. I'm already not liking you, Brian. It's stuck in my head. And you.
Ooh, yes.
All right. Well, on that note, I'm going to sign off, everybody.
I was singing it in a British accent in my own head.
Yeah.
Damn you! All right, what do we got? Have we got any earnings?
I didn't take any space. I don't really see any. I just didn't like anything too much. So
there's our earnings.
So it'll be
for you. No, space didn't do much into the close, did it? Just
yeah, kind of lame. I'll watch space tomorrow for a continuation move higher.
Okay.
But I just don't see a big gap. I don't see a big gap unless they come up with some big announcement between now and the open. So have a great evening, everybody. We'll
you too, Brian.
I'll be doing a swing trade video later on today, but yeah, we'll see everyone in the morning. Mike and Peter, have a good night.
Take care, Brian. Right, see you in the morning.
Yeah, good night all.
Delta Airlines tomorrow. Tomorrow morning's the big one. Delta Airlines. So, other than that, not much on the earnings front for sure.
Yeah, we're slowly limping into the earnings season.
Yes.
Right.
Slowly. So.
All right. Well, I'm going to journal my trades.
Thank you for everybody out on YouTube for joining us. I have to do the same today. Gonna try to get my journal done before the webinar this afternoon with Creta, which will be starting here in just about an hour inside our webinar room. So please come join us. Bring your questions. She's always good at answering anything that you got.
Indeed. Love to see you there. I plan to be there. And Mike, we'll talk to you later.